And there is, too, the story of Willy Ribbs, hoping to be the first black driver in the 500, still trying today, despite an amazing string of budget-busting engine problems. There is and the top of the scoring tower, A.J. Foyt's number 14 in the middle, and on the racetrack, Willy Ribbs. And what a story this man has been. This was at 2:15 this afternoon. A man trying to be the first black driver ever to make the field, but this has been the story of his month, limping along the backstretch with a mechanical problem.
We mentioned earlier Scott Pruitt, the All-American struggle. Maybe we spoke too soon. Maybe this here is the All-American struggle, because Willy T. Ribbs has really climbed monumental heights to try and get this car in the race. They have a Buick engine that changed from a Cosworth because the Buick was cheaper and faster, but this engine has blown up way too many times.
3 at last count, one of them twice. This was not a blown motor. Turned out to be less serious than that, but it did damage the qualifying attempt. We're going to go down to Marty Reed now and find out this he had to say at the time.
Willie, heard the motor sort of slow down going into turn 1 on the second warm-up lap. What happened?
I don't know. A broken header or a valve spring or something. The thing just died.
But you didn't cook the motor. You still got a chance to get into this, right?
I hope so. We're going to look at it now, but I don't know why it just fell off the way it did and just boom, no power.
This has been a roller coaster for you yesterday and now today.
It's the way life is in this business sometimes. We'll be all right.
We'll be all right. Now, again, that was taped earlier today, just after he came in off the racetrack. Ribbs with another unsuccessful attempt due to mechanical woes. But we can update that story now as we go to the garage area and join Willie live.
Well, Dave, Willie will be all right. In fact, the crew back here huddling with him just moments ago. And Willie, although you have had some gremlins in the engines these past few weeks, you have been gaining on it steadily every time you go out.
No, we haven't had gremlins. We've had monsters. I mean, we've had an engine go on us, and it's been hurting us. But Buick has been helping us out in this problem. And, you know, every day we're making progress, but you need to continue your momentum. I mean, you don't want to go 20 laps or 25 laps, and when you start getting a rhythm and momentum with chassis development, then you lose it, you know, with an engine problem. So tomorrow's another day, and just get ready to go do it again.
Your comfort level has to be growing in the car. Your laps just a little while ago, as we showed, over 215 miles an hour. You've come a long way just in about 8 or 9 days. What's been the most difficult learning curve here at Indianapolis? What's been the toughest thing to try to grasp here to get those quick laps?
As soon as you get them, stopping and getting an engine changed and then starting all over again. You know, once the car's working, and I got good people with Derek Walker and Tim Wardrop and a great crew. So Tim can go right to a problem. And I mean, this morning we were struggling around 210, 211, and we're scratching our head. We haven't changed a thing. And then we found out we just had a bad set of tires. And as soon as we strapped tires on, we got going straight away 215. You know, you run into problems like that, and they can identify them and solve them, and that's what you got to have.
Now, Bill Cosby is the fellow who actually gave you a shot to come up here, along with the hard work of Derek Walker and the crew. How much has Cos had as far as input? He hasn't been here physically, but do you talk to him?
Well, we've been getting Jell-O sent to us every day, and he does his daily phone call. You know, it's like getting a call from the top, and we give him a report, and then he's watching TV as well to see what's happening. So he's continuing to make the money so we can keep racing.
Hey, Cos, if you're watching, make more money. This guy wants to race, and he's going to be a great one. Back upstairs.
Cos, I think you better be watching over your shoulder. If that guy put his mind to it, he'd make a great comedian. Here are the rookies. Again, perhaps you can qualify for this race by sitting there on pit road, and I guess that speaks to the fact that we really didn't have as many cars here and as many car and driver combinations as we would like and as we've had in the past.
This is the little game they play now. There's no drivers in sight here, but the cars are in line for exactly the reason we just mentioned. Here's the Hemmelgarn car. It's also in line. This is Gordy Johncock's car. Not up to speed today. But if anything happens with the weather tomorrow, they need to be in line. These cars would qualify, because I believe that's the first 3 in line. These cars would get in the race. There's Salt Walter's car. We saw him have a fire yesterday. Really has struggled to get above 200 miles an hour.
Probably the wildest roller coaster ride of the month in terms of emotions has been experienced by Willy Ribbs, attempting to become the first black driver ever to make the race. Will he get a qualifying shot? We'll find out from the 4th member of our broadcast team here today. Working pit road with us, Marty Reed. Marty, what's up down there?
Well, Dave, you can see Willy T and Derek Walker talking things over, and you know, Willie hasn't been breaking bones out here, but he has been breaking motors, 4 of them in 9 days. This morning they came out for practice. Somebody accidentally overfilled the oil capacity by 1 full quart, and then they came out later and smoked a turbo. Big plume of smoke. They've managed to find another one from Brayton Engineering. They installed it about 40 minutes ago. They've just taken the car back to fuel it. They think they're going to be able to make a run. But talk about the change in fortunes. Take a look at Derek Walker, the man with the sunglasses right behind me. Remember a few years ago when he was working with Roger Penske, helping him win Indy 500 championships, and then he took a roll of the dice, and he started the Porsche Motorsports program, only to have the plug pulled from underneath him just last year, and now he finds himself looking from the outside in.
Well, persistence is certainly a virtue that can earn you $108,000, as we noted, to get yourself into this race, be you Derek Walker or anyone else in that group trying to make the show. Today is the day that you've got to do it. It is the final day of qualifying. Who's going to make the show? We'll stand by to find out on ESPN. That's Dominic Dobson. This is the live shot of Willy T. Ribbs, who has just gone 214.5 miles an hour in practice. There may still be hope for this star-crossed team. Stay tuned. Or it could be glorious for Willy Ribbs and his team, depending on the outcome of the next, hour and 35 minutes. That's been a familiar sign, Ribbs getting out of the car. Let's go down there and find out the latest on the man attempting to become the first black driver in the history of the race.
Actually, Dave, we're standing by with Tom Burns, who...
Yes, now we're with Willie as he's got the helmet off, and I know you want to get back to it so quickly. You just turned 214. That's got to be encouraging. What's the game plan?
Well, we're still working on setup. You know, we're trying to dial in a little bit better. That's all.
But you will make a run before this day's out.
That's right, yes.
We're going to let him get back to it.
All right, that's Willy Ribbs, and I think in his career I have not seen him quite as closed-mouthed as he's been here the last couple of days. He's usually got a lot to say and usually a big smile on his face, but I'll tell you what, that guy has simply suffered this week through all the mechanical problems that they've had. The hope lingers, and that's the point. One of our Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Willy Ribbs, dreams of being the first black driver in this great race. Ribbs has now practiced in 2 consecutive sessions at close to 214.5 miles an hour. Randy Lewis has just gone out, and remember that Lewis crashed here on pole day. And so as we watch Willy walk down toward what he hopes will be the launching pad for a successful run into Indy 500 history, his car has completed that very process that you have just seen and is being rolled forward. So it looks like the long-awaited moment is going to actually come for Ribbs. He came here 3 or 4 years ago and took a shot on a testing day at the Speedway and simply found that it was too much for him. He couldn't get the car up to speed and had trouble with precisely the issue that you talked about, that business of downforce, driving a car that you drive in much faster than you can control and you rely on the wind to hold it down. He just couldn't get the hang of that.
Willy's past in racing, of course, was totally based around road racing, and road racing is a totally different technique than super speedway racing. In a road race, when you come to a corner, you usually get on the brakes and set the car up and drive down through the corner. That's Tom Binford just briefing Willy before he allows him out onto the racetrack, gives him last-minute instructions, etc., as he puts his balaclava on. But on a super speedway, the technique is different. When you get to the corner, instead of backing out of it, set the car up, you keep your foot hard down and drive it down deep into the apex. That is the mental barrier our drivers have to get over when they come to the speedway here. And how Willy T got over it, he sat down with Rick Mears for an hour one afternoon. Rick almost became a school teacher. We see Tom Binford there right in front of Willy. Rick Mears became a school teacher, said, Willy, you need to do this, 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 and this. Willy went out, went from 208 to 213 instantly. That was the major barrier he got over. Unfortunately, the reliability of the car has not been been as good as Willy's speed has been.
The man on the left chewing the sunglasses is Derek Walker. It's his car that has suffered all this mechanical difficulty. Certainly no disrespect to Walker, who is one of the most accomplished of the mechanical masterminds around this place. They are simply struggling on a limited budget, and without enough money to operate, they have done a remarkable job in simply being at this point. I think everybody had written him off as of about Wednesday or Thursday of this week.
Well, I spoke to him on Thursday evening after one of their engine blows. Willy gets a pat from the crew member there as he climbs in. This is a very, very tense situation for Ribs right now. But Derek Walker on Thursday told me, he said, I'm out of business. We have no engines, we have no money. And then some people came to the rescue and put him back in business again. They had another engine blow up, and then I believe Buick and Kenny Bernstein came down and said, look, we want to give you guys a hand. You need to have a fair shot. They all pitched in, and we see him in line here. This is a big event. This might be the biggest event Willy T has ever been involved in his racing career.
I think without doubt it is certainly his lifelong goal that is on the line here in the next 4 laps. It's all come to this now, just 45 minutes from the end of this long and complex qualifying procedure that sets the field for the Indy 500. The time he must beat is 213.189. 213.189 miles per hour is the speed that Willy Ribbs is shooting for.
What the driver thinks about now as the steering wheel goes on, he's got this laps going over and over in his mind. He knows what it feels like to do 2:15. He wants to do the same thing. He wants to do turn 1 just as he did before. These laps are going round and round and round in his mind as much as he can, so as when he gets out there, he's in fact almost completed some of the laps. Last minute instructions from Derek Walker. We've spoken about Derek Walker a lot this month. We see an example of both ends of the spectrum. When he was with Penske, so successful, race win after race win. Everybody thought you can't do anything wrong, and now he goes and forms his own team, and now he's struggling at the back for no reason other than machinery and budget. But we see both ends of the spectrum with Walker Motorsports.
We would anticipate that perhaps Bill Cosby is watching today, as he is the man who fronted enough of the money to at least get this team started here at Indy. It proved not to be enough money perhaps to get them through the entire month. Will he make it? We'll find out when we return to Indianapolis. Willy Ribbs on the front straightaway at Indianapolis takes the green flag in this historic effort to become the first black man ever to drive the Indy 500. The bubble speed you saw, 213.189. A car that has just within the last hour practiced about a mile an hour over that. I guess there's reason for optimism.
Here's the graphics, the bottom of your picture. Turn 1, 217, drops down a bit to 214 in turn 2. That means he probably has a little bit of push. We'll get turn 3. You don't want to drop down too much. Backstretch 219. I'd like to see that a little bit faster. Of course, the speed he comes off the turn at depends on what his straight line speed will be. Turn 3, 216. This could be a good lap.
I sense that while he is a little short on straightaway speed, he's not scrubbing off as much speed through the corners and appears to be in reasonably good shape at this point. His top speed of the month is just over 215, and so he basically needs to go within 2 miles an hour of what he has already done. And can that be right at 230 there, as he really is hauling on the second lap? It looks like they may finally be there. This is the second attempt, the first lap at 217.8, and the crowd goes crazy. They love that announcement. They're really pulling for this guy.
My word, everybody in the front stretch here cheering Willy T. Ribbs on 217, faster than he has ever gone here at the Speedway. This is the time to turn on the Speedworks. If you have it, this is the time to do it.
Pass, start, finish, and off into turn 1 goes Willy T. Ribbs. 217.997. Ribbs is flying. Ribbs is looking at a 9th row starting spot. Forget all the bubble business. If he can continue around at this rate, Willy Ribbs will be cleanly in the show and within sight of the front row.
He's more than halfway home. Over 5 miles, 2 laps done. He's now finishing on lap 3. He's using all the road. Look how high his exit is coming off turn 4 4 here, right up against the wall. Willy T. Ribbs is looking good. Keep that engine running.
Here is a man who has learned his lessons. The white flag falls. He is 2 1/2 miles, some 40 seconds away from history, 2:17.5. A little bit of drop off that time, 0.4 of a mile an hour. Still very consistent and well within the window, and he's doing it just exactly right. There's nothing to criticize here.
He's almost there. 2 more corners, turn 3 and turn 4. Now remember, his team give him the information of his lap speed as he comes off turn 4 and passes them. But Willy T. Ribbs looks as if he's in the field.
Ribbs down. Nothing can go wrong now. He can coast into Indy 500 history. The checkered flag falls. Ribbs has made it. The happy crew celebrating the end of an incredibly long and difficult month. And here you see them backslapping, handshaking. They have certainly earned this moment of history that will put Ribbs on the outside of row 10. Let's go trackside to Jerry Punch.
A big smile from Derek Walker. And Derek, congratulations on a great effort.
Thank you. We're very pleased. And Willie did a hell of a job.
Were you surprised at the speed? 2:18.
Not really. Willie said he had some more in hand, and I believe him.
Outstanding. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Derek Walker, from a have a year ago with the Porsche team to a have not early in the month, gentlemen, but hard work and perseverance pays off as his driver, Willy T. Ribbs, will bring that car into his first ever Indy 500. Dave?
Quite a moment, an historic moment indeed. Derek Walker all carried away with emotion there, obviously. I think that's part of the key for that guy, is he manages to put the emotion aside and focus on the task to be done.
Just watch this. Just look at the emotion Willy T shows here, and everybody out on the pit lane to celebrate along with him. A great display, a great effort. Nobody and no team has worked harder to qualify for this race than Willy T. Ribbs. Bill Cosby's perseverance and support has really been paid off. Just look at this.
This, I believe, rivals the moment. Perhaps, a tenth of the crowd here that we saw on pole day. But keep in mind that that's still 20 or 30,000 people along that front straightaway, and they're all on their feet. It rivals the moment when A.J. Foyt drove into the middle of row 1. Willy Ribbs has made history at Indianapolis, and America stands to honor him as he climbs out of the cockpit. It is truly a memorable moment in what has been a memorable 75th year here at Indianapolis, and I'm anxious to hear what this guy is going to have to say. Let me correct one bit of information. He will go to the middle of row 10. He bumped Sneva, who was in the middle of row 10. Sneva was the slowest car, and so that means that Ribbs will go in now in what would be the 29th starting spot, taking the last spot filled yesterday. And now that will change the bubble position as well, but we'll worry about that in a moment. First, let's go down trackside to Marty Reed.
Guys, I got to tell you, I'm waiting to see what hood he's going to dance on.
I can't find it.
Tell me how much pressure you were feeling.
Oh, Marty, actually, when I got in the car, I felt good. You know, I just felt that all the help that I've gotten from Buick and Goodyear and all the people that have been behind me and the fans, I just felt really comfortable, like it was like nothing had ever happened, like 5 engines weren't blown up and turbochargers hasn't exploded. I felt wonderful.
Did you ever think about the historical significance of this? I mean, you know the pressure was on from that side of it too?
No, I've been doing this too long, and you know, it's just all in a day's work. The car felt good, go do it. I want to thank Derek Walker and Bill Cosby and Tim Wardrop and my whole team, Buddy, Lou, Lori, everybody. Dan, thank you. And thank everybody for being here.
We're going to let you get your picture taken for the record book. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Let's go down to Jerry Punch.
Well, Marty, how much excitement is there? Well, the man whose car he bumped, John Menard, was even smiling. And, John, you have to be happy for Willy T. Ribbs and Derek Walker.
Oh, yeah, Willie had a great run. I mean, he knocked us out fair and square, and that's good. I'm really happy for Willie. Those guys worked so hard all month, and it's really great.
At Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Willy Ribbs will be the first black driver ever to drive in this great race in this its 75th year, and it was truly an emotional moment, Derek. I think that was probably worth the price of admission for the entire month to see that run and that guy.
That's right, and we've watched him all month be very subdued. It's most unlike Willy T. Ribbs not to speak his mind, but he came here with a very quiet attitude, and everybody is delighted with what they just saw.